So it's a big, exciting day today because if all things go smoothly, I'm going to install our French doors onto the cabin. This is the final opening to get sealed up. So once this door is in, we are pretty much weathertight, which is a huge relief. Hope you can hear me okay because the wind is going absolutely bonkers this morning. So if you missed last week's video, we started by getting the entire cabin wrapped in a waterproof but breathable membrane. So that's going to keep the wooden structure of the cabin nice and dry. We then got to work on the window openings, taking extra care to make sure that they were sealed everywhere that we sliced open the house wrap to ensure there's not going to be any water ingress. And once they were all prepped, we fitted our UPVC windows. And now we've got our 4 windows in here and it's feeling very bright. As you can see though, we've still got gaps around the frame that need filling in. But we'll get to all the foaming and the trim work later on. First things first, it's time to get this door in. I've just been cutting down the sill so it can fit within the opening. The sill we've got is actually wider, so I've left part of it. The part that's going to overhang outside is wider than the opening, so that'll give a nice little detail, but the rest of it needs to fit within. The door wasn't supplied with a sill, so we've ended up buying this one separately from a different brand. And before I put this in and secure it down, I'm looking to see how these profiles, these raised profiles, fit and interact with the underside of the door. And this is the bottom of the door here, so you can see the left part of the frame, the right part of the frame. The sill fits perfectly within here and gives a great flush finish where the opening is, but underneath the frame you can't fit it in. The only way around it that I can think of is to cut these profiles off until it gets to where the opening is, and these can slot in and that can sit flush. Who knows if that's the right thing to do or not? Probably not. I'm sure somebody will let me know, but I want to press on, so that's what I'm going to do. Good girl. So the sill is in, it's all nice and level, it's been secured mechanically with screws but also with silicone and adhesive, so it's good to go. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get this frame into place single-handedly, but it's pretty big. It's a big wide double door. Lifting it's not too bad. Now I've taken the doors out, but obviously I need to try and shim and pack everywhere around this, try and get it level and get it plumb. See how we go. What's going to be the best way? Boy. I completely forgot. I need to get some silicone on the sill first before I squeeze them together. Get it all nice and tight. Tell you what, it's doing a pretty good job of supporting itself just on the sill. Right. Don't know what I was worried about there. That's probably the easiest job of the day so far. That frame's pretty light. As soon as it clipped in to where I wanted it on the sill, kind of just balanced fairly easily. I didn't have to do too much work to actually get it plumb. So yeah, it's all there now, plumbed up. I've only put in packers in the corners. So I think I'm gonna get them screwed in and secured so everything's just fixed in place. And then I'll go around and put some extra screws in. God, these are so heavy. We've got a door.
You've been a busy boy. Not that I thought you've been slacking, but you've done so well to get this in on your own.
Yeah, it needs a bit of adjusting. You can see this one.
Yeah.
That's the locking one. It's a bit wobbly. It's dropped a bit, so it's not properly locking in at the top. But
okay,
I'll adjust that, and then we'll be all good.
I mean, I'm not really getting the full benefit viewing it from the outside, but there's no way I'm scaling up that right now.
Yeah, this is not the best way for a pregnant woman to enter the building. I think we need to get some steps or a ramp sorted ASAP.
Definitely.
I say ASAP, we're going to get inside done first, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm just so glad and relieved that we've got this in. I did so well.
I'd wanted to get the trim around the windows and the door today, just so we could be fully dried in, but it's a bit of a wet one. So I am moving inside and making a bit of a start on the electrics. I can't do all of it yet because some of it needs to be contained within the wall for like the cupboard bathroom area, and that's not existing yet. So I'm just gonna do what I can, mainly trying to run everything from where the consumer unit's going to be, the fuse box there on that back wall, over to some of the feeds, start putting the conduit in for some of the lights as well. So the electrics are done a bit differently here in Portugal than they are back in the UK. Everything has to be run within conduit in the walls, which is really good for future proofing, but it's just a bit different. So where the consumer unit's going to be, this is going to be kind of the main feed with a permanent live that goes up. It's going to go all the way across to the other side, where up in the top of the wall we'll have this junction box, and that's going to have the permanent live go into it, and then from this box runs down to switches where you have a switch live. It then runs everything out to the different lighting circuits from there. So there's a lot of wire to be run through conduits and conduit to be run all over the place. I'm doing it loosely for now, and then I'll go around and secure it all afterwards.
This video is sponsored by Reolink. If you've been following our channel for a little while, you'll know that our Reolink cameras help us keep an eye on the farm, especially when we're not here. And this is the TrackFlex Floodlight Wi-Fi, which is the newest addition to their extensive range of home security cameras.
So it's a mains powered camera and it needs to be wired in, but it's very simple to install. We already had the wire there because we're replacing one camera with this new one. We're going to put the old one over on the cabin when it's done. So you can hardwire it straight into an existing circuit, or they supply you with this so you can plug this into an outlet and wire that into the camera.
It's got these really powerful floodlights on either side that can be set to come on when motion's detected, which is really handy for us because when we let Ted and Pop come out before bed, the lights come on and we can see exactly what they're up to. You can also customise them, changing the warmth and the brightness from within the app. So if you had your camera set up near some outdoor seating, it can also double up as a little bit of mood lighting. It's got a wide field of view too, so if there's some activity that's happening outside of the camera's line of sight, it'll quickly swivel 270 degrees so that it catches what's happening behind it and nothing's going to be missed. It started absolutely hooning it down outside, so I've taken refuge in here. So if you need to find a specific clip, Reolink use smart AI so you can use keywords to search for the clip you need in no time. One thing I like, and I know will be really useful, are the dual lenses. So one of them will show the whole scene, but if there's something that you want to see in more detail, it'll zoom in at 6 times and sharpen up faces so you can see exactly what you're looking at or who you're looking at, rather than just a generic fuzzy face.
So if you want to upgrade your home security with Reolink or just learn a bit more about the TrackFlex floodlight, click our link in the description and use our discount code LIFEBYLIVING5 to get 5% off your order. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but the noise from the rain on this sandwich panel roof is so loud. This is one of the reasons why we didn't do it on the stone house, because we have this sandwich panel roof in the bathroom, and the difference between the tiled roof and this when it's raining is crazy. It's so noisy. So although we have got the sandwich panel roof on, it's insulated, we are putting more insulation in the roof just to try and stop that, because it's so noisy. It's not relaxing at all. It's like living in a tent. I don't know if there's a correct method for running wires and cables through conduit. For me personally, I've just found that it was quite difficult when the conduit's already been fixed in place in situ. I've just been running the conduit, cutting it to the length it needs to be, pulling it back out again, and then down here on the ground, running the wires through, because if it gets stuck, I can jiggle it, I can straighten it out, I can run it the length of the room in a dead straight line if I need to. Just found it's a bit more flexible, but maybe the pros out there can tell me there's an easier way to do it in place that would save me a bit of time. Also, while I'm working on electrics, just a little disclaimer, I am not, where's the bottom there, I am not a qualified electrician. So anything I'm saying here is either my experience or it's something that an electrician has told me. Yeah, do not take anything I say as sound advice. I'm just trying to give my experience. So I'm just marking out where we want our downlight to go, because you need to position them a certain distance from the walls, because put them too close or put them too far away and the light doesn't disperse properly. So we're bringing ours 800 mil from the wall, and then we've got a gap of about 1.2 meters, so 1200 mil between them. So in theory, I'm going to be here, to here over to halfway through there. Lovely. 1.2, and then it'll be 1.2 down to the next one, 1.2 down to the next one, and then the one at the front will be 800 from the front wall. So works out nice. Yeah, these downlights are going to be fairly bright. They're what we would class as like the main light. So if you just want to come in, hit a light, get as much illumination as possible in the room, that's what these will do. For softer lighting, for when we want to relax or it's the evening, we're going to have table lamps plugged into the sockets around the room. I say lamps, realistically it'll probably be 1 or 2 in the living space and 1 or 2 in the bedroom. It's not, you know, anything too extreme. We're not going to have an interior designer designing us some lighting. So yeah, very simple, but I think it'll work nicely in this small space. It is cold this morning. Even in here it's freezing. You can see my breath. Oh, fogged the camera up. I cannot wait to get all of this insulation in the walls and the ceiling and start to feel a little bit of warmth in here. Also, it's taken up a ton of space, which is at a premium in this tiny little cabin. I'm very happy to reveal to you all that the cabin is now watertight, weathertight, whatever you want to call it. We are basically dry in here, which I'm very happy about. That's a big stage to reach. We had an afternoon yesterday where we were going to have about 3 or 4 hours of it being dry. So I came out, fitted trim all around the windows externally to cover up any of the gaps that were visible around the window. I've just used a PVC trim for now. Most of that trim you won't actually see because when we put the cladding on, we're also going to trim up around the windows with the cladding. So parts of it will be hidden, parts of it will still be seen, but it's made a big difference. I also siliconed anywhere where there was a joint so water cannot be crafty and make its way in anywhere. So today I'm going to be taking this lot and building out our partition wall that's going to come straight down the middle of the cabin to separate bedroom from living space. It's also what we're going to use to build out this kind of little box room here that we're going to use kind of temporarily as a bathroom. We're both really hoping that this dividing wall isn't going to make the place feel really small and cramped because it's already a fairly small space as one, but we want it so badly because at the moment we are living in one room and it's just difficult at times. You need that little bit of separation, especially with a baby. You know, somebody is going to have to be up potentially at night while somebody else is trying to get some sleep, or even in the daytime if we want to put baby somewhere to sleep and then we can be getting on with something else. It's going to be really useful to have the 2 spaces. So although it's going to be a lot smaller, the benefit to us is going to be massive and we're hoping that it's just going to feel really cozy. So this stuff I'm fitting here, it's like an acoustic foam tape and it's meant to help you get a bit of separation between the metal framework and the structure of the building or just other components of the build, I guess if you want to call it. Obviously metal conducts sound pretty well, so anything we can do to give a bit of a acoustical split. Acoustical, is that a word? Acoustic split. We want to try and do. It also has a sticky back which helps to keep it in place on the floor whilst you're screwing it down. Although I've worked with this metal stud work before down on the stone house, it still amazes me how quickly you can whip this stuff together. It's so easy, there's no mess. It's, yeah, pretty good stuff to work with. I know there's probably people wondering why we're not building it with wood. Quite simply, wood is just dear here at the moment. It's expensive. So, you know, these lightweight internal stud walls, it's just easy to use the metalwork. They use it here pretty frequently in their houses and it's just really readily available. Did I say cheap? I think I did. It's inexpensive too, which is always a bonus. I'm so relieved that I like this interior window feature that we decided to put in. I was a bit worried that it was going to look peculiar. Maybe it does to some, but actually now it's here in front of me, I really like it. The reason that we decided to put it in is twofold, really. The first one is when you walked through the door, we wanted to make sure that you could still get a feeling of the overall size of the cabin. So you could enter through the door, see through the door into the bedroom, into the far corner. You'd also be able to see through this internal window to the back wall and catch a glimpse of the rear window as well. It's also a really good way of getting light between the two spaces because we didn't want to completely close it off. Also, I'm in the bedroom here. Our wood burner is going to be over on that far wall in the middle. So having these open spaces, I'm going to be able to put a fan on there and kind of blow all of the warm air through into this space to get it warm as well. It might feel different again once it's got the plasterboard on, but so far so good. These spaces feel pretty decent. They don't feel pokey. I'm pretty happy with them. One thing that's really annoying is I've kind of cocked up my calculations and I haven't got enough of the U channel. So this is the piece that goes on the top and the bottom to do the bathroom behind me. I've got one more piece, so I could probably get one of the walls done, but I'm just gonna be short of finishing it off. Bit irritated, to be honest. You could not have come at a worse time with this weather.
It better be good. Oh, that was really smart, from what I can see anyway.
Right, hang on, let's get you in. Oh, I'm getting absolutely drenched here.
Oh my god.
Ugh. Oh, that's wow.
Oh wow.
What do you reckon?
I like it. It actually doesn't feel smaller. I know we were both worried about that, weren't we? When we were going to divide the two spaces.
I actually think it's one of those weird things where it potentially makes it seem bigger.
Yeah. It was hard for me to visualise how big this was going to be for the opening through to the two spaces, but I think bigger is better in this case.
There's going to be so much light pass through.
Yeah, also, I know you said this is obviously not a standard width opening, but it's not bad, I don't think.
No, I mean, it's only about 50 mil more narrow than what narrower than a door would be anyway.
Yeah, nice. And if all else fails, you just go through the hatch. Hello everyone, it's present day, tired from the looks of it. Ricky here, editing this video. Just wanted to give you a little update. I'm just going to come outside because we've got a crying baby in there, and also the sun is shining for about the first time in probably a week or 10 days, so try and get some vitamin D in my life. I know a lot of people have been concerned because of the awful storms that Portugal's had. We did have the storms come through here. I think it was 3 storms kind of back to back to back, somebody said to me. The worst one obviously being Storm
Kristen. We basically just battened down the hatches and we're just stuck inside. For us, the worst part of it was all of the rain. We've ended up with pretty much the entire bottom half of the farm getting flooded. Minor flooding, to be honest with you. It's just the land really can't take any more. But with regards to the high speed winds, we were pretty much okay. You know, we've had some tree damage. The shade sail that we have on the house got annihilated and we basically had to just cut it loose because it was ripped so badly. And our greenhouse got taken to Pound Town. But anything that we've built, whether it be something on the stone cabin or the wood cabin, is all completely fine. They've all stood up to it. I mean, it was an insane test for the new wood cabin to be put under, but it's reassuring to know that it can take the test of a cyclone. Pretty impressive. But yeah, we're just so grateful that everything's been okay, because, you know, some people have lost their lives, some people have lost everything else. So we are very, very fortunate, and hopefully we're going to be okay going forward, and everybody else will be as well, because somebody told me the other day there's another storm still to come in this coming week. But anyway, I'll leave you there just to let you know we're all doing well, and yeah, we've still got more progress to show you on the cabin. So we'll be back to that next week. Have a great week, and we'll see you then.